That whole sequence, the image, the edit, the animation, that was one conversation. I described what I wanted and I asked for changes and told it to animate. Didn't have to configure anything. Hi, this is David from the ImagineArt team. Today we've got two big updates that dropped around the same time. First, ImagineArt Assist, a brand new AI creative assistant built right into the platform. You talk to it like a person, you tell it what you're imagining, and it handles the rest. Model selection, prompt expansion settings, all taken care of. Second, a major workflow overhaul. A redesigned interface, a new assets view, and 4 new nodes. You can combine videos, combine audio and videos, image splitter and text splitter. They're amazing. I'm going to walk you through both and show you live demos. Let's get into it. All right, so Assist. If you've been using ImagineArt for a while, you probably know about the prompt enhancer, the Imagine bot. You type a short prompt, hit enhance, and it expands for you. That was useful, but it was still on you to pick the model, the aspect ratio. All the settings are on the generation. Assist is a different kind of experience. It's powered by Chatly, and it opens as this conversational panel right inside of ImagineArt. When you open it up, you get, what do you want to create today? And 3 starting paths. Create anything if you just have a loose idea. Create an image or video if you know you want visuals from text. And ask anything if you want help brainstorming or working through an idea before you generate anything. You can also just skip those and type straight into the prompt bar at the bottom. Now, if you tap the settings icon, you get model selection. For images, right now it's running Nano Banana 2, with more models will be coming soon. On the video side, you've already got a solid lineup. WAN 2.6, CDance 1.5 Pro, Kling 2.6 Pro, and Google Veo 3.1 Flash. There's also an auto toggle. It'll pick the best video model for what you're asking, so you can leave that decision to Assist if you want. You can also upload your own images or videos. You drop in a reference photo, tell Assist what you want to do with it, and it works out the best approach. Let me show you how this works. I'm going to type something intentionally vague. Moody portrait of a woman in rain, editorial vibes. Look at that. I took my one-liner, expanded it into a proper detailed prompt, and generated through Nano Banana 2. You can see the results. Shallow depth of field, nice specular highlights and the raindrop, muted colors. It's exactly the kind of output you'd want for editorial work, and I didn't have to spell any of that out. But here's the thing that makes Assist different from just a better prompt box. I can keep going in the same conversation. Now make it warmer, more golden hour, and add some lens flare. Look at that, same composition, completely different mood. I'm giving creative direction the way you talk to a designer, not writing prompts from scratch each time. And this works for video too. I could say, now, animate this as a 5-second clip with a slow camera push in. It'll route to one of the video models and keep the whole conversation context. No starting over. So if you're newer to AI generation and prompt engineering feels like a barrier, Assist gets you past that. You describe what you want in plain language and it delivers. And if you're more experienced and you just want to move faster, it's great for that too. You can always go into Image Studio afterwards to fine-tune things further. Not bad. All of that from a simple conversation with Assist, your new best friend on ImagineArt. All right, let's talk about the workflow side of things. If Assist is about making creation easier, the workflow overhaul is about making production more organized and more capable. First thing you'll notice, the left panel has been completely rebuilt. You've got dedicated pages open where you can see here, which means you can organize different workflows into separate views instead of everything living in one sprawling canvas. If you've ever built a workflow that got complicated enough to be hard to navigate, Pages solve that. Each one is its own clean workspace. The Nodes menu got a big upgrade too. It's more searchable, better categorized, and the groupings make more sense. Finding the node you need is just faster. And then there's the new Assets view. You can manage and access your assets, images, videos, and audio files directly inside of the workflow without switching tabs or windows. Quick thing, if you're finding this helpful, subscribing genuinely helps me keep making these tutorials. All right, back to the new nodes. Let's start with the 2 video-related ones. Combine videos takes multiple clips and merges them into a single output. Think of it as a really quick way to stitch things together when you don't need a full editing experience. So I've got 3 clips here, all generated from image to video and other workflows. And then I just connect them to the combine video node, and I can choose a transition. Choose fade, dissolve, slide left, slide right. Think of this just like a very basic video editing with a sequence. I'm going to use no transition. I'm going to click run. It will output my video for me, and I can view it right here in the node itself, or I can even use the preview node. There it is, 3 clips, 1 video. For something like checking whether your shots flow together or putting together a quick sequence to share with a client or post as a draft, this is exactly what you need. You don't have to leave the workflow to edit in some offline program or take it into ImagineArt. Now, to be clear about what this is and isn't, if you're combining 3 or 4 clips, 4 at most, into a quick sequence, this is perfect. But if you need more than that, different transitions, more complex editing, you'd want to use the ImagineArt video editor for that. This node is about speed and simplicity for those cases where you just need clips joined together. Combine audio and video is very similar. You just take the videos, and then if you have an audio track, so you take your video, take your audio, and just hit run, and we'll overlay them together. So audio in, video in, run, now you've got a video with music. It's straightforward. You're not getting a full audio mixing experience here. It's just a simple overlay. For adding a music track or a voiceover to something, you just assemble it does the job without breaking your flow. So the other 2 new nodes, the ones that I'm really, really excited to show you today, I've been looking forward to these very, very anxiously. The image splitter and the text splitter. Now, this is so handy, and I'm going to show you exactly how. We're going to use the storyboard generator that I made a while back. Make a copy of it here. So this storyboard generator was created before we had these text and image splitter nodes. And you'll see I'm going to convert this into something that is just so much simpler. So this prompt is a very complex prompt that outputs storyboard shots all from one source. So it creates a cohesive scene using your character input and then generates multiple separate storyboards for you. The cool thing is, instead of the way we used to have to do it, which was I had to tell an LLM I had to combine a prompt saying extract the first story prompt from the following text, and then it would pass in this giant block of text generated by the copilot node. Now we're just going to use a single node to get exactly the things we need. So we're going to use the text splitter. I'm going to take the input here, and I'm going to change this thing that it's using to split from using the 3 dashes into a semicolon. So let me edit the source prompt here. So I'm going to tell it to separate each prompt by a single semicolon. And I'm going to just reinforce it there just to make sure it gives us what we want. Okay, so we can see that it is now set up to split them out. It's giving us, it's a little confusing because I'm doing it on top of the existing one here. It looks like it didn't get the last one. Oh, it only gave us the first 3 stories. That's okay. We can see the gist of it here. So we have each of these giant prompts broken up into different splits now. Such a handy node. So we could take these outputs and replace all of the different, we have the extract this third story prompt from the following text. Then we have to combine them and concatenate them. And then we have to run it through this AI copilot node to do that. So I'm going to delete all of this and replace it with a single link to this right here. I could do the same thing here. So that was a bunch of extra calls, a few extra tokens burned, or credits burned, just to extract the prompt. So I'm not going to rerun these because there's no need to. You can see how it works. The next thing, though, is the image splitter. So what we had to do on these before just was a little crazy. I only had one example of it in this because wiring it up was nuts. I had to take each of these storyboards. So here, when it generates the actual storyboard, this is what you get back. And I had to take these and I had to use another call to Nano Banana Pro to actually split them out. And it was not very reliable. I had to use this really complicated prompt, analyze the input, perform a precise crop operation, then upscale it, etc. Now watch this. I'm just going to take this image splitter node. Well, let me find it. Can't get it that way. I'm going to go to image utility, split image. I'm going to take this input image. And so you specify what size your grid is, and we're doing a 3x3 grid here. Voila. We're going to get back 9 separate images. So now I can preview these. Oh, don't want prompt. Preview. So you can see that's just the individual first storyboard frame. Here, I'll switch to this one. Yep. Number 9. Yep. So now you're going to need to upscale these still, but it's a lot more reliable than rather than having Nano Banana try to split these out for you. So just a great feature I've really been looking forward to. So that's what's new. Assist gives you a conversational way to create. You can describe what you want, iterate, go from image to video without starting over. Right now it's wanting Nano Banana 2 for images and a solid set of video models with more on the way. On the workflow side of things, the redesigned interface makes complex pipelines a lot easier to manage and navigate. And those 4 new nodes really fill in gaps that open up some very practical production workflows. I'm excited to see what you all build with these. Drop a comment and let me know what you're working on next. Next time I'm going to show you how to create those AI time lapses that have been blowing up everywhere on social media lately. You've probably seen them, a city building itself from nothing or a flower blooming in reverse, that kind of thing. I'll break down exactly how to make them in ImagineArt workflows step by step. You don't want to miss this one. I'll see you there.